Hey, what you say, food family? Mike here, and welcome back to the channel for another great culinary adventure. Today we're bringing Nana's Italian Kitchen right here into our very own homes because we're going to make a big batch of marinara sauce. Of course, few of us have the time to stand around and tend to the stove like Nana could making her traditional sauce, so I've adapted today's recipe to be made in the slow cooker. We're going to make a big batch so you can use some fresh, portion it out, freeze some for later. You'll actually be looking forward to the next time you're going to cook an Italian meal for your friends and family using that leftover marinara sauce. Now today we're going to use our fresh marinara sauce to finish this video off by making a baked ravioli dinner so delicious you won't know what to do with yourself. If that sounds good to you, stick around and I'll show you how it's done. Let's get cooking. Alright folks, we'll get started on our simple slow cooker marinara sauce today by going over our ingredients. As you can see in front of me, I got this big ass can of San Marzano tomatoes. I picked this up at my local Costco. You can find it at Sam's or a lot of other great grocery stores out there near you. If you can't find a big can, by all means use the smaller 14, 28 ounce cans. They're totally fine. But that being said, you do want to try to look for the San Marzano tomatoes. Any Italian will tell you you're not worth your grain of salt if you're not using San Marzano tomatoes to make your marinara sauce. If you can't find them, it's not the end of the world. Just find some whole peel tomatoes in sauce. It'll work out pretty good, but it won't be quite the same. Other than that, we got some fresh diced onion, some smashed garlic cloves, a little salt and pepper, some sugar just to sweeten things up, and we're going to finish off with dry Italian seasoning. Now because I plan on freezing a good portion of this marinara sauce today, I don't want to put fresh herbs in there. They just don't freeze quite as well. When I thaw those frozen portions out, I'll throw in some fresh basil to really brighten up those flavors right before I'm cooking that meal, whatever it tends to be in the future. So that being said, all we're going to do is dump all the ingredients into our slow cooker, set it on low for 8 hours, high for 4 hours, however much time you got for the day. We'll come back, give our sauce a taste test, and then start working on that baked ravioli recipe. Alright folks, we got our ingredients added and mixed up. I'm going to toss this in the slow cooker. We'll turn it on and I'll see you in a few hours when we're ready to give it a taste test. Alright folks, quick update. I did forget one optional ingredient for a slow cooker marinara sauce, and that is the rind of some Parmesan cheese. I have here a block of Parmesan Reggiano that was about to go bad in the fridge. I took most of it off. I'll be reserving that for that baked ravioli we're going to make once our marinara is done. So, in the meantime, I'm going to toss this piece in our marinara sauce in the slow cooker, let it fortify the flavor. But like I said, the key here is the rind of that Parmesan cheese. So, by all means, don't use a whole block of cheese like this unless you have it and it's going bad. Just get that rind off there, maybe that inch of cheese. Throw it in there, adds extra flavor, just an extra tip to make your marinara sauce a little bit better. Alright folks, welcome back. Our slow cooker marinara sauce has been cooking all day long, 6 hours on low in this Ninja Foodie Possible cooker. That's the equivalent to 8 hours in a standard slow cooker, or probably 4 hours on high. This thing just cooks a little bit faster because it's being heated on all sides rather than just the bottom. But other than that, our marinara sauce is ready to go. Now this is thick and hearty. I don't quite want it this thick for saving for later and using in today's meal. We want to puree this up some, break down those full tomatoes we pulled out of that big can, and break down those hunks of garlic that we just smashed. So I got to thinking, how can we do this? Well, we could put it in the food processor or the blender, puree it up, it'd be a smooth, simple sauce, work pretty good. I don't want to waste that thick hardiness of it either though. So instead today I'm going to use this immersion blender, get down in here, it'll leave it somewhat thick and hearty but thin it out enough, break up those garlic hunks, what's left, break down those full tomatoes, what hasn't broken down in the cooking process itself, make a thin yet thick and hearty marinara sauce that we can portion out and use for almost any type of Italian cooking we want to do in the future. So that being said, we're going to puree this up. It's about a 50-50 puree I think I want to do. We'll portion out in containers, get that stuff labeled, put in the freezer for later, for next week, next month, next couple months actually to last, for future Italian meals, and we'll reserve the rest for our baked ravioli dinner that I promised at the beginning of this video. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. Alright folks, as you can see in front of me, we got 4 big containers of marinara sauce off our slow cooker marinara sauce video today. Of course, we're going to reserve one for our baked ravioli, but the other 3, and each of these containers is about 3 cups, which is a good solid Italian meal for most families. So we got 3 more containers. I'll label each one of those with the date and just call it marinara sauce. Throw those in the freezer. These will last 2 to 3 months in the freezer. It ain't going to last that long in this house, but you know what I'm saying. If you got it there, it'll be there. You'll probably use it before it ever gets, you have to worry about the date. Now, one thing I did want to make a note of was I did pull that Parmesan rind out of the sauce before I pureed it. I forgot to mention that earlier. You don't want to grind that up or puree that up into your sauce. It's no good. It did its job. It gave us some flavor. All the extra cheese I had in it melted into the sauce itself. So I was down to just that little bit of rind. Other than that, we'll take our 1 jar of sauce here, pull it off to the side, label these other 3, into the freezer they go. We'll come back and start assembling our baked ravioli dinner. Alright folks, welcome back. As you can see in front of me, we got the ingredients to make our baked ravioli dinner using that marinara sauce we just made earlier in this video. So besides the marinara sauce, I got some freshly chopped basil, like I said, just to lighten up that marinara, make it a little more tasty. We got a mixture of mozzarella and Monterey Jack cheese, and of course, some frozen ravioli. Now today, I'm using beef ravioli. You can use seafood, lobster, cheese, sausage, whatever ravioli you want, but we're keeping it very simple and just using a pre-made frozen ravioli. That's the key to this simple recipe. So that being said, let's get started. We're going to take about 1/3 of our marinara sauce and line the bottom of our baking dish. I'm just going to wiggle that around so it covers. Alright, we'll go in with some fresh basil. Alright, we'll take half our ravioli. We're kind of making this like a ravioli lasagna, so try to make an even layer. Alright, that looks pretty good. Now, of course, we use half our cheese. I've already mixed up this Monterey Jack and mozzarella. Now we'll go back and repeat these layers. Alright folks, you just saw there, we layered our ravioli up with the cheese and the marinara. I added that fresh basil in there to kick up that marinara sauce, bring some bright, fresh flavor into it. We're going to cover this with aluminum foil, bake it in the oven, 450 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. We'll come back, pull that aluminum foil off, and finish this off with some fresh Parmesan cheese. Stay tuned. Alright folks, our ravioli's baked for an hour. Let's pull this aluminum foil off and see what it looks like. And of course, as promised, finish off with some Parmesan cheese. Alright, I'm going to let this cool off a little bit. We'll get it plated up, give it a taste test, and see how it turned out. Alright folks, as you just saw there, our baked lasagna has cooled off. We plated it up, we made it look pretty, but as always, that's only half the battle. Let's give it a taste test and see how it turned out. half a ravioli here with some cheese and some of that fresh marinara we just made. Folks, a great dinner doesn't get any more simple than this. We took some frozen ravioli from the store, got some beef ravioli here, but like I said earlier, seafood, sausage, cheese, whatever you like. Paired it with that marinara sauce we just finished up in the slow cooker earlier. Topped it off with that fresh basil to really bring the flavors out, brighten things up. Finished off with that Parmesan cheese. Ooh-wee, it just doesn't get any better, I'm telling you. If you like what I made here today, be sure to check the links in the description below. That was in my website with the ingredients, the timing, everything you need to know to make this marinara sauce, which is the key here today, that you can pair with other pastas, noodles, anything else you want to make Italian style. Or you can do this simple frozen ravioli dinner. It just doesn't get any more simple and delicious than this kind of cooking. At home, folks, from the heart, like Nana intended, in her kitchen in Italy, standing by the stove all day. We shortened it up, we threw it in the slow cooker, let it do its thing on its own, brightened it up with that fresh basil, those herbs to make it taste fresh as it can be. And yet we can pull this out of our freezer and repeat the same thing next week or next month, and it'll be just as good. So, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment below. What would you do the same or differently? Let me know, did I pull this off here today? Is this the same as Nana's famous Italian marinara sauce? Or is it just close enough it'll do the trick and fool your friends and families? Other than that, Mike here signing off until next time, folks. Just keep cooking.